Hello everyone, bringing you a video today which is very different from my usual uploads, both in content and the reason for making the video. The reason for making the video is a query I'm hoping someone out there might be able to help me with, and we'll get into that in just a moment. Just to talk quickly about the uniform that's on the mannequin here. This is a reproduction uniform, and it is a reproduction of Vietnamese Marine Corps tigerstripe, which is the way tigerstripe was introduced into Vietnam. The Vietnamese Marine Corps adopted it as their standard camouflage, I believe in 1960, and had a series of patterns of uniform made in this material. This particular pattern, known as Sea Wave to collectors now, and it's my favourite of the lot. I really like tigerstripe. It's a very interesting camouflage pattern. The way it was developed, the way it was introduced, and obviously the troops who used it. And I wanted to put together a uniform just purely from my interest in the camouflage. I wanted to do it right if possible, but a decent quality reproduction was good enough for me. Just to have an example of it. And what we have here is a shirt badged up to represent an advisor from the US Marine Corps to the Vietnamese Marine Corps. So it's Vietnamese Marine Corps uniform, but with some trappings of US Marine Corps uniform, or specific to advisors, as we'll see in a minute. After I've explained exactly what I'm hoping to receive some help with, I'll put this down on the floor and we can have a look at the badges and so forth in a little bit more detail. The query I have relates to the rank worn. Now you can see on the collars here we have standard US captain's bars worn on each collar there. That was how US rank was worn on these shirts, essentially, up on the collar in the standard manner. However, Vietnamese rank was also worn in some instances, not universally, but in some instances. And Vietnamese Marine Corps rank, the insignia is based on naval practice, so bars with a curl in the top loop. Basically the Vietnamese Navy rank, but made in silver braid or silver lace rather than in gold, as it was for the Navy. But they used the ARVN titles, they used Army titles to go along with that equivalent rank insignia. So, we have a look at this photograph here. This shows several advisors, 2 captains and a lieutenant, or lieutenant, excuse me. Black and white, so it's not possible to tell if this is a first or a second lieutenant. But they're also wearing Vietnamese rank, as you can see. But it's one rank up at least from their equivalent US rank. So the lieutenant is wearing a captain's rank, the 2 bars with a curl in the top loop, and the 2 captains are wearing at least major, which would be 2 thick bars with a slightly thinner bar in the centre. So 3 in total, the middle one being slightly thinner. It's not entirely clear in the photograph if that's the case. If it's not, and they're wearing 3 bars of the same thickness, it's even more confusing because that would be the rank of a lieutenant colonel. So 2 ranks up. So basically what I'm hoping is someone out there will be able to help with this. I've asked on internet forums, I've been in touch with the Historical Division of the US Marine Corps. They very kindly linked me to several PDF documents, actually many of which I'd already looked at in the search for this. One of those I'll link down below, gives some history to the advisors to the Vietnamese Marine Corps. If you're interested, well worth a read. Has some original documentation sort of annotated in through the document, so it's worth having a look at if you're interested in this sort of thing. Speculation is great, and you're free to speculate in the comments, but I'm hoping for a solid answer to this, because everywhere I've posted this, I've asked on forums, on Facebook and places, there's lots of speculation, but there's not been a solid answer to this. So it's a long shot, but putting this out on the World Wide Web, someone may be able to give me an answer, or may be able to link it to someone who was an advisor. There weren't all that many advisors, but maybe one of them, someone out there knows one of them, or knows of someone who knows of one of them who might be able to answer this question. Was it the general rule that advisors to the Vietnamese Marine Corps wore 1 rank up in terms of Vietnamese rank when they wore it? And just trying to get to the bottom of what the regulations were regarding this, because I can't find any information on it, which is surprising. I don't believe it was particularly common. I think US Army advisors to ARVN units wore equivalent rank. I did find another example, which is WO2s, Warrant Officers Class 2 from New Zealand, advising the Army of the Republic of Vietnam, wearing, well, they were given honorary second lieutenant or honorary first lieutenant rank, I think. So wearing the 2 flowers for the lieutenant rank in ARVN, in addition to their WO2 rank. So that was an honorary rank given to them specifically, not just 1 rank up on what they already had. So that's basically the question I have. Can anyone provide any further information on this ranking up of advisors to the Vietnamese Marine Corps? If anyone can, I'd very much appreciate hearing from them. What we'll do now is we'll get this down on the floor and we'll have a look at the various bits of insignia and explain them in a little bit more detail. Okay, so we'll briefly run over the insignia we can see here. It's a mix of specific US Marine Corps advisor insignia, standard US insignia, and insignia from the Vietnamese Marine Corps, of course. So we'll start off with the badge or patch over on the arm here. These are all woven in sort of the bevo style, and this is the black brigade patch which was initially worn. Later on, when the Vietnamese Marine Corps became a division, it would swap to this green colour. So this is the old brigade badge, the old brigade patch, being worn with the new division pocket patch, and this shield on the arm would also turn to green at this time, but they were worn together. Obviously not everyone replaced the brigade patch on their arm, they just added the pocket patch. I'm considering removing this to backdate this shirt a little bit before division was formed, which I believe was in 68. Well, reformed, shall we say. The Marine Corps was expanded and reorganised to division strength. We then have the coloured name tape, which is a very distinctive piece of Vietnamese Marine Corps insignia, obviously with a Western name on it here. My name, in fact. Had this made by Booney Pup, if I remember correctly, who makes sort of in-country name tapes. Red with black lettering, and that's for the 4th Battalion of the Vietnamese Marine Corps, and that's how they were designated. The different battalions had different coloured name tapes. Then later on they would gain a patch that would be worn on the other arm to show the battalion. But initially it was, and would continue to be, represented by the coloured name tape. We then over the other pocket have the specific US Marines tape, which is quite distinctive to advisors at this time. And that's worn obviously on the other side, where you'd have US Army, say in standard US practice. This was to designate obviously US Marine personnel serving with the Vietnamese Marine Corps. Above that we have a parachute wing with the parachute qualification badge on tigerstripe, stitched on. Just so happened the pattern matched up quite nicely there, so it really does blend in, but a subdued parachute qualification on tigerstripe material there above the US Marines tape. And then US rank here on the collar, as you can see, captain's bars, pin on insignia there, as you can see, with the clutches on the back. And also already said, this pocket patch here in green, I understand this was introduced when the Marine Corps reached division status. It was reorganised as a division. So I may remove this to sort of backdate the shirt to back when the Vietnamese Marines had sort of brigade, were of brigade level. But this colour would replace the black on this as well at that time. So that's a quick run over the insignia. As I say, this is a reproduction shirt. It's been improved. Obviously, most of the insignia came on this. I replaced the name tape, which was originally a green with white lettering, which was brigade, and then I had divisional headquarters after that. I wanted a battalion colour name tape, so I had that replaced. And this has had original period Arven buttons fitted to it to improve the look a little bit. I think there's a spare somewhere on it of one of the original buttons, and they're a little bit bigger and not quite the right colour. So that's improved it a little bit as well in terms of looks. But that's a run through the insignia that's on this. As I say, the main reason for purchasing this is I love the tiger stripe print, and this, from what I can make out, is a fairly good reproduction of the Vietnamese Marine Corps pattern. And that's the one I prefer. Obviously, it's kind of the original pattern that introduced this into Vietnam, as I say, in 1960. So there we are. So there we are. I hope you found it interesting running through this. What is really a request for information. But as I say, if anyone can offer any assistance with this, I'd very much appreciate it. And hopefully you found it interesting having a look at this as well. It's a real sidestep from my normal collecting. The reason, as I say, I originally put it together is for an interest in the tiger stripe itself. And that's kind of mushroomed and into, it's kind of expanded into trying to find out this one little detail. Certainly as it is right now, badged up is perfectly accurate. Though I may remove this to backdate it a bit because I'm more interested in the early war period. But as I say, the way it is now is perfectly fine. Vietnamese rank wasn't always worn, so it's not a be all and end all. It's just something I've got my teeth into and would really like to get an answer to if at all possible. I hope you found it interesting running through this. If you have and you'd like to see more from the channel, then please do consider subscribing if you haven't already. And whether you're newly subscribing or you've already subscribed, please do make sure you hit the little bell, the little notification button down below, which will of course alert you when I upload future videos. If you really like my uploads and you'd like to support the channel, you can. There's both PayPal and Patreon linked down below. And a massive thank you to everybody who supports the channel using those two methods. If you'd like to follow the channel on social media, you can. There's Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, all linked down below. And if you want to make contact but you don't really use social media, there is of course an email address down there as well. But that's everything for this video. So until next time, bye for now.